Well, good afternoon, everyone, in Empowered Soul Network. This is an episode of Rise in Excellence with Dr. Paul Kellogg. As all of you know, this energy of Rise in Excellence is meant to help us all look beyond, look above, look, where do we next want to go? As you know, my mantra in life is boldly go where I have not yet gone. So a piece of my journey in excellence is the adventure, the excitement of what can be out there for me and all of us. So that's what these episodes are all about. It's not a destination, it's not a result, it's a journey. And we can have a lot of fun and enjoy, have great accomplishment and fulfillment. And I'm so excited today to share the opportunity of introducing Dianne Chase. She's calling in from North Carolina. She is a mentor, a trainer in all things leadership communication. And I've told her before, I love that because I'm so much about leadership and how we can all be leaders inside of ourselves. And no matter who we are, we're leaders. So, Dianne, welcome to Empowered Soul Network.
Thank you so much. I'm just having visions of the Starship Enterprise the more you're talking about all the,
You
I mean,
got
that's
it.
you. You're on the spaceship. We're all on the spaceship.
That's it. If there is such thing as other new lifetimes or whatever, I'm gonna do the Star Trek captain thing.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'll
there you
call you
go.
Captain from
Well,
now on.
yeah, Diane, tell us about yourself and what's inspired you in the work that you do. Tell us a little bit about the work and what inspires you and all that.
Well, Paul, I'm inspired and passionate about working with communication to help communication skills for others, helping them be the best version of themselves. That's what leadership is all about, right? Helping others really excel in ways that keep them fulfilled and keep them energized and keep them motivated to move forward on achieving their goals and their aspirations. And communication underpins everything we do. It communicates who we are, what we care about, why others should care about what we care about, how we can serve others. And so helping people communicate more successfully about what they do, why they do it, why anyone should care is really critical to achieving our personal and professional goals. If you think about it, nothing successful happened with poor or no communication. Things go sideways really quickly due to misunderstanding, miscommunication, misalignment, just the energy in the room sometimes, right? That nonverbal communication going on is so powerful. And so how to become self-aware? How do we improve our communication skills so that we can achieve success and help others achieve theirs as well?
I love it. I love it. Can you give us a little bit of an origin story here for yourself? I love in these interviews and connections to give hope and inspiration to people that wherever they are and whatever they're doing, it
Hmm.
could be a mom or a pop,
Oh,
just
sure.
taking care of the kids. That's what they do. Whatever they're doing, that
Hmm.
they can find the next space of the communication that's going to help them move forward and helping that child or helping that
Yeah.
coworker or whatever that is. So, how did you start in all this? What got you interested in providing this kind of service?
Well, my initial career was in the news business.
Okay.
So as a news director, anchor, reporter, I was using communication skills to convey information, news stories. They weren't really stories a lot of times in this, they were features or documentaries or whatever. But it was just understanding the power that I had to inform people during hurricanes and tornadoes and horrific natural disasters. I could be a source of comfort even for people calling in at 2 in the morning who are up with no power and trying to keep their kids calm. It's been just an incredible professional and personal journey in terms of understanding how communication can connect people in ways that we don't even sometimes really value. So understanding the power of communication to connect people, to provide information, to provide assurance, to help calm things down. I do crisis communication work, so it's really important to help people learn the skills of communicating when things are really intense and everyone is in high emotional state, helping them learn how to communicate in a way that creates trust and confidence, clarity, and really builds relationships when times are tough. And in my trainings, my consulting, my workshops, my seminars, I remind people that these are communication skills that are human to human communication skills. And you can use them with your CEO, you can use them with your spouse, you can use them with your child. How are you coming across verbally, vocally, visually? Is your face saying the same thing as your mouth is saying? If not, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a misalignment. It's a misunderstanding. So we have to understand that, first of all, the greatest communication tool, hearing, listening, actually listening. Our ears are our most powerful communication tool, really. And then learning how to communicate with another human being in a way that they understand, that creates a resonance with them and builds trust. Again, those relationships, builds understanding, and learning how to tamp down in highly emotional situations, using the tone of voice and the words that help, calm things down, level the field a little bit so that we can work through challenging situations. But it really was during the news business. And growing up, I was very quiet and very shy and very much the wallflower.
Interesting.
So
Hmm.
I was very much the observer. And you learn a lot by observing and listening, right? So I would pay attention to people as they're talking, for instance, and I could tell, I could sense things were not landing well, even though the person might be smiling. And you could pick up, I could pick up that lack of communication. And um, it was just, when I think about all of those experiences about being more of an observer and a listener than a talker, I think that set me up for what I do today. And I have a teaching DNA, so I love sharing knowledge, and I've done some teaching. So it marries my love of communication, understanding it, and then conveying that to others to help them.
Beautiful, beautiful. What did you find, and what do you find in your clients or people that the challenge of the transition from being that observer and listener to being the communicator of that? Because here's the shy person, great listening and all that.
Mhm.
There's challenges with being that shy person. And then years later, now you're out in front of hundreds of thousands of people at any given moment, and there's always that, presence of, okay, we're on the air. And now you're there and you have
Yeah,
to present and so
right,
on, which
right.
is completely opposite from being the shy. So we'll talk about the challenges in the midst of all that.
In a way, it's almost like you step out of your comfort zone in order to achieve a lot of times. And
Yeah.
stepping out from your comfort zone because you have a purpose and you have a mission and you have the power to do this work. And then the insecurity and the semi-introvert piece steps back to let you step out. And we have to work on that in ourselves. And it's really a mindset. It's really a mindset. It's almost like you kind of have to separate yourself in a way. So I
Yeah.
think a lot of us are ambiverts, which is, very extroverted, but then needing to recharge, go back and like cocoon a little bit and recharge. And that's certainly the way I am as well. I'm very gregarious. I love people. I love meeting people. I love working with people in person. But then I need to step back, recharge, regroup, refresh, unplug, plug back in.
I mean, I'm glad you said that because that in my work and my leadership training work that I do, I could see all the time where a piece of the communication is being solid within myself, so the communication comes out from here
Mm,
rather than the woulda, shoulda, couldas, or what I think I should be saying, whatever. And because it's so easy to get caught in the pressures of producing the result or whatever that might be, that it tempers. So when
mm,
I'm more regrouped and clear,
hmm.
I find that the communication is much easier. It feels fluid. It feels like there's a flow to it rather than up and down and start and stop. And
Yeah,
God, should have done this, should have done
yeah,
that.
right.
I lose, talk about this a little bit if you would. I lose as I grow in that need for validation and for acceptance
Mm,
that I've done the good communication. I've done the report right, and
hmm.
so forth. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, that's really interesting because everything you're saying really boils down to the golden nugget of authenticity. So if
Yes.
you are authentic in the purpose of your communication, what you want people to understand, feel, and do, that will serve as your North Star always.
Yeah.
And free you from the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, even though we all do that. I definitely am guilty of that a lot. But I think if we just realize that we are purpose driven in our
Hmm.
communication and in what we do, and we are authentic and we are here to add value, then that frees us up to speak from our heart. And
Right.
the superhighway to the brain is through the heart. There's all kinds of neuroscience out there to prove it. Um, we like to think we're very rational human beings, and we make rational, data-driven decisions. But the truth is, we buy on emotion and justify on logic. Whether you're buying into a value system or a product or a service or another human being, we are emotionally driven. We're hardwired that way. And so if we understand that, then we understand how to communicate in a way that creates meaning for another person. I
Right.
always think about what do they care about? If you're giving a presentation or a speech or seminar, whatever it might be, really understanding as much as possible what the other people in the room care about, individually and collectively. So
Right.
that puts it on us. And I also say, it's kind of harsh, but I also say it's no one else's job to understand what we're trying to communicate. It's all back on us. If someone misunderstands or doesn't do what we can't figure out why they didn't do that,
Yeah.
it's not it's not them. It's we're not connecting with them in a way that creates meaning and helps them understand something, do something, or feel something.
Right. Right. In your experience, Diane, working with clients, working with business organizations, management teams, all of that, how have you seen the journey of going from the unsure as a communicator to finding the confidence where I don't have to think about that it was good or not good or this or that. I know that I know. Because a lot of people, they think that's a hard journey to do
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
And I'm in my work, I find that it's not hard if you have that right method or technique or whatever it is to
Hmm.
just allow you to be, like you said, be
Hmm.
authentic.
Right.
So what have you seen or some of the methods or techniques and time frames that
Mm.
a person comes from being unsure to being more assured and confident?
Well, everyone is so different,
Yes.
and it depends on, their background and where they're starting from, you know. And then really being clear on purpose and engagement. So I do strategic business storytelling. So being really, really clear on the purpose you have for your communication and your work, and then being very clear on how to engage. So I talk about four different uh, strategic storytelling styles because everyone tells stories. We tell stories all day long. Um, some are over dinner, some are at a party, some are at a board meeting, and being very clear on what is going to resonate with that group and being very skilled at being clear on the message and clear on your engagement style.
Right.
What words will inspire them. And strategic storytelling is the way to inspire people. Um, we we don't remember that moment where we saw a data point on a PowerPoint slide and it changed our life, right? Or it got us to think something, feel something, or do something. But we can wrap that data and that stat in a narrative, in a personal story, and we remember it. And so we're just in a state of overwhelm in terms of all of the information that's coming at us all day long.
Right.
And it doesn't it doesn't change behavior in the majority of cases because we're smart, we're rational humans. But then why do people smoke? Why do people speed? Why do people text and drive? We
Yeah.
know all of these things are not good. They're not smart, but people still do them anyway, right?
Right.
Until there's an emotional situation that changes their behavior.
Right. Right.
So you come to those tipping points. So learning strategic storytelling, and then learning just presentation skills, body language, the nonverbals, understanding tone of voice, you know. I'm really happy to be here. I had a Zoom meeting yesterday with someone in there. Oh yeah, I'm really excited to be here. And I'm like, I called him out on it. I said, you do not
It
sound
sounds
like
like
you're
it.
excited. You're not fooling me. But sometimes we're not even aware of it. We're not even aware of our facial expressions. And we might be off-putting to someone, and we're completely oblivious that we're coming across that way.
Right.
So a lot of
Right.
self-awareness, and that's where having an unbiased person to work with is really critical. I mean, to really advance and achieve more communication success and happiness and peace, um, working with someone who can really be very clear-eyed with you and very supportive and help you see how you can improve and even see the cost of not communicating well. If you're a business person, I can show you all kinds of numbers about the cost of miscommunication in business. I mean, it's in the billions of dollars around the world,
Yeah.
billions.
Oh yeah.
Lost time, lost productivity, lost engagement, uh, you know, creating a culture that is toxic because of miscommunication.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's a real threat to productivity, but also to having a culture where people are motivated to do their best. They're motivated to achieve the collective goal of the business,
Yeah.
whatever that might be. So if a lot of the things you were saying, I was thinking, a culture of safety and support to help build it up. And you can create a culture of safety and support in your family just as well as in your business.
Yeah.
So how are we doing that? What are we what are we really reflecting on and understanding about where things are not hitting well and how can we fix that? So it takes a lot of perspective, outside perspective, which you offer, I'm sure, and to your clients as well.
I mean, great points, Diane. I think a couple of the other thoughts that occurred to me, in communication, it takes a lot of patience
Mm,
to just be relaxed
hmm.
about, okay, what is it that I want to say?
Hmm.
What is here? What's authentic
Right,
here,
right.
especially if I'm creating a talk or engaging somebody I've just met or kids or whatever it is.
Hmm.
And I'm noticing, I was reminded that when you were talking about all the outer stuff, it's so easy to be involved in reactive communication
Hmm.
rather than responsive communication.
Hmm.
Because as you said, the internet, it's 24/7.
Hmm.
It's hitting us even when we're asleep at night. I used to live in New York a little bit, and I mean it's 24/7.
All right.
The police car is in the middle, 3 o'clock in the
Hmm.
morning, somebody outside the hallway or somebody in the next door neighbor. So there's that thing that automatically you begin to get on edge because there's something that needs to get responded to.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there's that quickness of
Yeah.
need to respond rather than taking that deep
Taking a
breath and go,
breath.
okay, is
Let's,
this my business?
right. Is this my
Not
business?
my
Should
business.
I care about it?
Should I even care
And
about it?
if I care about it, how much should I care about it?
Yeah, is it
Um,
trivial? Is it just a distraction from my goals and my focus? And
mhm.
and even to the point where uh, reacting to someone else's opinion about me. I have
Mm,
a mentor a long time ago said to the class, he said, "It's not my business what you think of me. You
right.
have the right to your thoughts.
Hmm.
Now, if I get
Hmm.
caught up in that, now you're running the show.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not running my life at that point. You're running
Hmm.
my life.
Hmm.
So just that whole mindset thing that you're talking about, as we wrap up here, any thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. And that definitely takes some work, Paul, in terms of
Yeah.
being self-assured. And certainly I think a lot of us wish we had known at 20 what we know now in terms of the fact that our self-worth, our value as a human being is not dependent on someone else's opinion. So how are we building our self-assurance and our self-confidence because we are purpose-driven people? We are here to add value to the world. We are here to make a difference in whatever small way. So, again, working on that self-assurance and knowing that we're good people and we really want to do well. And, I'm always remembering that failure just is an opportunity to learn, right? It's a learning opportunity. So,
Beautiful.
it's piling up all those lessons learned so that we can keep getting better and make every day an improvement.
There's the journey to excellence right there.
Yeah,
It's
there you
beautiful.
go.
Diane, how can we reach out and get in touch with you more?
Oh gosh, thank you. LinkedIn is where I live a lot.
Okay.
Um, but chasemedia.us, and there's
Right.
a contact form there on my website. And then Dianne, Dianne, two N's, at chasemedia.us. So any of those will work well.
Beautiful. Empowered Soul Network team out there. I hope you're listening to this. This is some classic gems, very down to earth, very practical, feet on the ground, but yet head in the clouds to look forward. So
Mm.
take. I hope you do some takeaways in this. Put your comments below. Diane, this should be live. You should be able to go right in there and put your contact information there.
Wonderful.
I will also do a little update summary above the video. It'll take me an hour or so to get that done, but I'll
Okay.
put that up there and people can avail themselves of it. And stick around for just a minute. We'll do our takeaways like we always do.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very
much,
much.
Diane. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
There you go, Powered Soul. We will see you. Hope your holiday season's going well. Have a great one.
Bye.